right, welcome to the first episode of the ATD Baseball Podcast. I'm Bobby, joined by Kyle, and then we're going to be joined by Matt and Melo later on in the episode. We'll hear from them too. First episode, I am so excited. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I've been stoked about this for a while. I'm glad it's finally getting together, and I'm kind of, I'm honored to be one of the first here. So
Yeah, it's me and you. We have to lead this off. We have to start it strong.
love it.
Of course, in our fashion, we were trying to get it done by opening day, and it just didn't happen. So we have to wait until 2 weeks into the season to get this rolling. But hey, better late than never. We're here, ATD Baseball Podcast. Here we go. All right. So first thing, I want to talk about the Texas Rangers City Connect jerseys. They released
boy.
them today, this morning, Monday morning. So at first, I was completely against them.
hmm
Now they're growing on me a little bit. I don't hate them, but I'm not sure if I really like them. I really don't know yet. What do you think?
Yeah. So for me, when I first saw them, I was disappointed. First off, those pants, I don't get it. I feel like Nike just has this thing where, they like the combo, and for me, I felt like the one color all throughout the uniform would have worked out great. I love the little R they got going on the
Yeah.
chest piece. There's a spur in there. I love that. But like the whole thing with the uniform, I feel like the Texas Rangers would have been one of the best, in my opinion. I feel like they could have gone a complete different direction. I feel like they could have wowed us. Like kind of like throw in like the Old West kind of thing,
Oh,
right? Like a gunslinger kind of thing.
wow.
I feel like the Rangers just dropped the ball on this. I'm not saying I don't like them right now. They're, like I said, I'm still in the growing process. Not sure if I
Yeah.
like them. Not sure if I don't. But like I said, I feel like I was so disappointed that it's going to be hard for me to like these
Mhm.
because, like I said, the Wild West thing with the Rangers and the whole team, I feel like they could have like just completely grew into it and went with it,
That
and
could
I
have
feel
been
like they
good.
dropped. Yeah,
I like that a lot. I didn't even think about that. They
I
should
mean,
have hired you.
thank you. I mean, hey, my DMs are open at all times. But like I said, I feel like my picturing when I knew the Rangers were coming out with this was like a sunset themed jersey, right? And
Okay.
you got like a silhouette. I'm not saying put the silhouette in there, but incorporate it somehow. Got the
Right.
Old West sunset going down. You got a gunslinger ready to draw off against each other. Cowboy hats all in there, and you can throw in some spurs,
Lasso.
lassos. I'm telling you, all of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Rangers just dropped. And I mean, even the wording, man, you could have put Rangers across in a lasso type font. I'm just, for me, it just wasn't what I expected, and that's why I'm gonna have a really hard time liking these.
Wow. I didn't even think about that, and I love it. Now it makes me like these jerseys less. See, I thought I was starting to like them, but now that you put that in my head, I like it. I like that
Yeah.
idea a lot. Next up, I hate that we have to talk about this because I love this player.
hmm
And we're gonna dive right into this.
Yeah.
Javier Baez. He got benched whatever day it was, sometime last week. Um, I don't know what's going on with him. He's just lost it.
Yeah. Um, I was not watching the game at the time, but um obviously we had wrote an article on it on our website, and I was going back and I was really trying to find some information to put in there, and during it obviously I watched the clip and I watched everything that happened. He looks lost, man. I mean, everywhere. It's not fun to watch, obviously. I mean, I loved this signing by Detroit. I loved it. I
Did
wanted
you?
him. I loved it. I really did. I felt like he's that veteran presence, and I felt like he had a whole lot more to offer. Towards the end of last year, when he was, what was that, 2 years ago, maybe now? Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Towards his
2020.
last, 2021. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Towards his last little bit with the Mets there when he got traded.
Mhm.
He was starting to show signs of like, and I loved him and Lindor together, dude. I really
Oh
did.
yeah, he fit
And
in so well with them.
dude, it takes me back to September 12th, right? It was the day after the 9/11, the 20th anniversary. The Mets and Yankees were like hugging it up. I loved it. And then bam, the next day they were neck and neck at each other. Lindor doing the whistle, whatever he was doing,
Oh
Stanton
yeah.
rounding the bases. Javi Baez bought into that and he started producing, dude. I loved what I saw out of him on the field. And I thought going into free agency, when he signed with Detroit, I loved it because he was bringing that veteran presence. I felt like he was starting to come back to his old self, and really fitting in with that Tigers team, showing the young guys the ropes. I felt like it was a perfect fit, but nothing good has come of this signing for Detroit.
Not
Um,
at all.
I mean, it was a 6-year deal. He's only 2 years into it, and he looks like he's worn out. He looks like he needs to retire at the end of the year. And I feel like Baez still has a lot more to offer.
Yeah. What is he even 30 yet? I don't even know.
I think so. I think he's in his early 30s, 32, 33 maybe.
I don't
You
know.
don't think
We'll
so?
see.
No? Okay.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
look it up quick.
Yeah, why
But
not?
yeah,
Like you said, with the Mets, he seems so locked in. I
30 by
wonder.
the way.
All right,
30.
whatever.
We were in the middle.
Does he need to be in an organization or a team that's competing, or like has other people around him? Like, who else on the Tigers is like a leader? He's the only one, really, other than Miggy, I
Yeah.
guess. But like, are you really counting
He's
Miggy
on
at
his
this point?
way out.
Yeah, he has a foot and a half out the door already.
I feel like I wish that the Tigers could maybe go out there and be a play for like last off season. You had guys like Judge, Bogarts, Turner, all those guys on the free agent market. I really do that Detroit could have gotten one of them.
Mm,
Um
not
adding
Judge.
another star, no, not Judge. Uh adding another star to this Detroit team would complement Baez. Maybe take some more pressure off of him. I don't know, maybe he's feeling the pressure of being the leader. I mean, you think about it. He was with Chicago, right? For all those years. He had Bryant on the other side of him and Rizzo at the at first base. All those years, he was never the main guy because all of them were together.
Right.
And then he went to the Mets. You got Alonso, you got Lindor,
Hmm.
you had Nimmo. I mean, the list goes on. So it's like he was never that main guy. And now that he is, it's just adding to his decline and the pressure that's on him to become a leader like this. It's not going good.
Yeah. Yeah, right now in 49 at bats, he's batting 184, 0 homers, 5 RBIs, and a 504 OPS. I think it's the seventh worst in baseball or something like that. But yeah, it's
It
ridiculous.
sucks. It
Yeah.
it, it honestly sucks to sit here and watch Javier Baez play like this because we all know the player he is.
Yeah.
This isn't him.
No.
It's terrible.
We're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna have Matt hop in here and he wants to talk about some underrated teams, underrated players, whoever, guys who are not getting enough credit right now. So we're going to get Matt in here now. There he is. What's up, Matt?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just enjoying baseball so far, guys. How about you?
Let's go. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you got today? Underrated players, teams. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay. So I got a player that I feel's been underrated so far this year, and then two teams as well. And I'll talk a little bit about them. I want you guys' take on them. I feel
Okay.
pretty good about this.
All right, we're ready.
All right. First off, let's get the player out of the way. Bobby, I know you're gonna like this one. Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
Listen, people have been saying about he's underrated for a while. Trust me, I wasn't on that train. But the guy's hitting 375 this year to start the season. And I know it's only been, like 20 games, less than 20 games. But still, he's like a career 300 hitter. He's got a 400 on base percentage. And he leads MLB in hits and total bases so far. Minnesota Twins. I think maybe they're not underrated, but come on. Come on. They're 10-6. And they already won a series versus the Astros, and they split the series with the Yankees, right? So
Yes.
it's close. It's not a series win, but 2
For them,
two.
it is.
And yeah, basically a plus 18 run differential so far this year. Their pitching has been clicking. Starting pitching has been insane this year for them. Now offense hasn't. It's got to take another step forward, I think. And it's tough to say a team's underrated when they're leading their division. But when you're talking about the AL superpowers of the league, you're not thinking of the Twins necessarily. But maybe it could be time to mention them.
I like it. And
Kyle,
like
what
said,
do you think?
Oh,
So yeah, the Twins, man. I felt bad for this team for quite some time. So it is nice to see them come to form. Obviously the Correa signing was huge for them. But yeah, I mean, and as you said, their pitching is magnificent. I mean, we saw it. He went head to head with Garrett Cole. Pablo Lopez has been amazing. Obviously that extension that he just got. It's great for the Twins. That that 9 spot that they put up in the first inning against my Yankees the other day. Didn't like it, but yeah, the Twins are very underrated, and they could make some noise in the AL this year.
Matt, you brought up the Twins on purpose, just for us.
No. Listen, you guys have had the best of them for so long, and they split the series with you. Okay, so I mean, I'll take Garrett Cole's dominant performance yesterday along with the split. I think that gives you guys the win pretty much. Last team here, Chicago Cubs. Give it to me. I'm jumping on the Cubs bandwagon this year. And listen, record's not everything. 8-6 so far, but they've already had a somewhat tough schedule. They've won the series versus Mariners, Rangers, and Dodgers so far to start the season.
Sorry, Melo.
Those 2 teams are playoff teams from last year, and Rangers are looking to make a push. So listen, that's great teams to start off your season beating. Plus 16 run differential. Marcus Stroman and Justin Steele have been off to a pretty hot start. And I'm not going to say Belly is back, but he had a nice series in LA. I don't want to overreact to it, but he had a good series.
After his pitch clock violation after getting a standing ovation. That was horrible.
Yeah, that's terrible. Gotta be in the moment. Come on, you gotta realize what you're dealing with there as an umpire.
Cubs are a very exciting team. I feel like I said it last year and I was a little wrong, but they could be a spoiler this year again.
Well, yeah, if the Cardinals keep playing bad, especially, then which you can't expect that because the Cardinals are just stacked, but the Cubs are not a joke anymore. Like they were a joke, maybe not last year, but 2 years ago after they sold all the good players, they were kind of a joke. But now, like they got some players. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
All right. Any final words, Matt?
Yeah, Phillies need to turn it around, but we won't get into that. So it's not what I came on to talk about.
We won't torture you with that. All right, perfect. Cubs, Twins, Bo Bichette. Love it. All right, Thanks, Matt.
Yep, see you guys.
Soon. All right, thanks, Matt, for giving us some teams. I can't believe he had to talk about the Twins like that. He knew what he was doing.
He did.
He did.
That was a little bit of a... Yeah.
That was such a dig. He wanted one of us. He wanted one of us to bring up the nine run first inning and whatever.
Yeah, it's all right. Whatever.
I'm over it. But anyway, something else. Speaking of horrible and pathetic organizations, the Oakland A's. What the hell is going on? Is this team really an MLB team? Like, I think that's a serious discussion that we have to have.
They are, but barely.
Are you sure?
Barely. Hanging on by a thread. And that's only because of the team history that I'm giving that that little bit of leeway there. Man, do I feel bad for this organization. I truly do. And I want Oakland to be good again. Dude, just a few years ago they were in the playoffs.
It was 29 or was it 2020 that they made the wild card or 2019 something?
It was something like that.
It was
But
not long ago at all.
no, it wasn't. I mean, obviously, I'm not getting into all the players that they traded away. They had Olsen, they had Murphy, they had Chapman, but they were a few pieces away. Like, and it irritates me because if you're rich enough to own an MLB franchise, you're rich enough to spend money on players. That's the bottom line. I don't care who you are. The fact is, you were a few pieces away, and now you're an absolute dumpster fire because you, I don't know, want to play Moneyball. I don't get it. I really don't.
You have possums running around in your broadcast booth. Hold on.
God.
We got to talk about that. So that there was a possum in the visitors broadcast booth the other day. So the visiting team, whoever it was, couldn't have a broadcast team in that booth. Like there was a possum living in there. It took over the stadium.
Supposedly, it's been there for a few years. This isn't a new thing.
But why is it just a story now? Or is it like out? Or why is it?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Oakland baseball. I really don't know.
It's pathetic. But what might be more pathetic than a possum taking over your stadium is walking or your pitchers having 17 walks in a single game against the Mets. 17 walks in a single game? How is that possible?
I don't get it. Honestly, these stats that we will talk about and we will see come over our phones on Twitter, whatever it is, it does not surprise me anymore. Like nothing. I mean, I don't get it. But honestly, I mean, yes, that is pathetic, but what's really pathetic is the fact that you're now having fans doing a reverse protest, boycott, whatever it is. But the way they're doing it, they're going to a game.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Okay. But like it sounds crazy. It's like surface level, it's
sense.
so dumb because like this is just a normal thing fans should be doing, right?
Yeah.
But but the reasoning behind it makes so much sense.
It does. It really does.
So for those who don't know, I don't think it was today. Sometime over the weekend, A's fans are starting this reverse boycott where they selected a date and they're encouraging all A's fans to go to the Coliseum and attend this game on some date in June, I think, to show and prove that it's not the fans aren't the problem. There are a lot of Oakland A's fans out there, but they don't want to support the shitty owner that they have. So they just don't go to games. So they've been boycotting, but everyone always makes jokes and gives them crap about how no fans show up to the game because no one wants to go to the game because they don't want to support the product that they put out onto the field. So now they're organizing this reverse boycott to show that there are a ton of fans out there, that it's just the owner's fault, which is a crazy concept, but it makes sense somehow. And I don't know. But I love the move. I love the move. I'm not going to lie.
It honestly makes total sense. It really does. Because when you say, like, when I first heard about it, which was, I don't know, an hour ago, I was like, what the hell is this? This just doesn't make sense. Like, what circus is going on at the Oakland Coliseum right now? But it does make sense. It honestly does because, like, for me, if the Yankees put a product on the field like the Oakland Athletics do, you're never going to find me in that stadium. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go to work every single day, spend my hard-earned money going to a game where I know they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's the way I look at it. And I mean, I really hope that this game is a sellout that these A's fans are going to. I truly do, because something needs to give. I don't care what it is. Whatever tricks and tips that they want to try out there in Oakland, go for it. Because if you can make this owner see that he's the issue, there you go. Do it. Well, I don't care what it is. Do it.
But the owner I forget his name. I wish I knew his name.
I don't know either.
He has to know that he's the problem now. Like
I hope he does.
you can't run this organization so shitty and like not be aware of the problems you're causing to the like towards the fans, with everyone else in Major League Baseball. Everyone in baseball, involved in baseball, knows that the Oakland A's have a shitty ownership group or person, whoever it is.
Yeah.
He has to know it. He has to just literally not care at all.
It has to. I mean, I really don't know. Because every time I open up my phone, you see a meme about the Oakland Athletics.
Some of it is probably us too.
Yeah, probably. Shout out Matt for that one. Yeah, but I mean, he has to, because obviously he sees the writings of this team. Just a few years ago, this team was a playoff team, and there were fans in that stadium.
Yeah.
It's not like we're talking about, I don't know, a team that's been at the bottom of the league for years. The Oakland Athletics have a very rich history, and that's another thing I don't understand. You guys you have guys like Ricky Henderson, who's literally the field is named after. You have Goose Gossage, you have Reggie Jackson. These aren't just no names.
No.
I mean, these are legitimate Hall of Famers, MLB legends. And like I said, a few years back, you were a playoff team.
They won 97 games in 2019.
Dude,
2019.
I remember sitting there as a Yankee fan going into 2019. We all know how that ended. You know, Astros went to the World Series, blah, blah, blah. But I was scared. As a Yankee fan, I was scared to face the Oakland Athletics in the playoffs. I was legitimately scared.
Yeah.
That's Yankees A's, by the way, what I'm trying to get this point across, because this team was not far off.
No, not at all.
For a good chunk of time, this team made the playoffs around that core that they had. And then bam, you blow it up, and now look where you're at. You have fans who are actually boycotting by going to a game.
That's such a crazy concept.
When just 4 years ago, you won 97 games.
I don't get it.
This doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Just at all.
A's fans sell out that game whenever it is, June something, 13th, I want to say. Something like that. But
go show that pride, A's fans.
I might let's go to Oakland.
Let's do it. Honestly, I will buy a Reggie Jackson old throwback Kelly Green jersey. I'll buy my Oakland A's hat, and I will go out there and I will be one of them just to get this A's team back where it was a few years back.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm so down.
As a Yankee fan, I want to be afraid of the A's again. I truly do. I really do.
All right, let's move on from the A's. We've talked about them for way too long. Moving on.
Gotta give them some love.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if that was love, but
yeah.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Oh boy, here we go.
He's playing on rookie mode in AAA during his suspension, which is strange. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. In 8 games so far in the minors, Fernando Tatis, 17 for 33. That's a 515 average. Pretty good. 7 home runs, 15 RBIs. And he's coming back Thursday to the Padres lineup.
He honestly, I mean, as you said, he honestly looks like my Road to the Show character. Built like Aaron Judge, who plays second base, hitting at least 4 or 5 home runs a game. But anyway, this is a very touchy subject. I mean, obviously, when you bring up the whole suspension thing, whether you're on the train or not, of if he should have been suspended, if he shouldn't have, in my eyes, he shouldn't be playing right now. I mean, that's just the way.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
I mean, and obviously, I mean, you guys know how I am about steroids. Do I think this is like a full-blown steroid, like he was juicing? No. But I mean, if you're going to suspend him, why is he allowed to play in minor league games then? It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, not at all.
it's not like he's playing in Japan with Trevor Bauer right now. He's, you know, he's playing in for the El Paso Chihuahuas, I think. Is that it?
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
name, by the way.
Yeah, honestly. But I mean, he's tearing it up in the minors, and he's probably going to continue to do that once he gets back on Thursday. But I mean, there's not really much to say on my end. I mean, we expect him to do this. If he's playing minor league ball, he's gonna be putting these numbers up. I mean, honestly though, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see a full season of Fernando Tatis in the minors. I really want to see what those numbers look like at the end of the year.
That,
Um,
that would be fun. That would be really fun.
I think so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, we're going like
yeah,
85 homers, maybe batting 500 for the entire season.
I
I
could
could
see
see it.
it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But yeah, I find it bizarre too that he's allowed to play because now when he comes back on Thursday, he'll be ready to go
Yeah. Yeah.
and he'll be in form to go and slotting in third, second, whatever he is, maybe lead off in the Padres lineup, and he's gonna pick them up.
Yeah.
I
That
don't know.
Padres lineup is I mean, it's already stacked enough, and now you're adding Tatis back into the
Yeah,
mix.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah. A perfect, like ready to go Tatis,
Yeah.
healthy, in a groove, coming off like a 3 homer game probably on Wednesday. But yeah, I don't know. The Padres are struggling a little bit. So are the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And so now we're gonna hear from Melo because of course he had to talk about his Dodgers. So right now we're gonna swing. I talked to him a little bit before. So now we're gonna swing to Melo so he could talk about his Dodgers for a little bit. All right, now we got Melo in here to talk about his Dodgers, who are struggling. They're not doing too hot. 8-8 currently as of what is it, Monday afternoon. What's going on with your Dodgers, dude?
Listen, when we started this season, I don't want to say this because it's too early, but again, I'm just going to say it anyways. Like, I think we were lying to ourselves.
And what?
This is
Why?
this team is not that good to start. It's from the beginning, middle of spring training. It's like, all right, we lost a lot of guys, but we still have Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts leading the way. JD Martinez is now your DH. Hey, Will Smith is going to be your third guy now. He's probably one of if not the best catcher in the sport right now.
Right.
But then after that, it's like, what the hell are we doing? It's like no disrespect to these guys, but Miguel Rojas, eh, he's
I
gotten
just
off
think
to a slow start.
I just think a lot of it has to do with how spoiled you and I think the perception of the Dodgers have been for the past decade. I think they just have such high expectations, and you as a Dodger fan has high expectations for this team that like I do think this team, they're a good team, but it's just nothing like you're used to with the Dodgers. Is that fair? Probably.
That's 110% fair. Um, and you know, the big problem to this year is that some of these guys in our lineup are getting exposed.
Mhm.
Like last year it was like, okay, like we won 111 games, but it's like, yeah, Cody Bellinger can't hit. All right, fine. Like he can hide. Like he's gonna play great defense. He can hide because we have this great team. Everybody else pulls their weight, so we just kind of move him along. This year, there's not that scapegoat this year.
Mhm.
Max Muncy, I know he's picked it up in the last week, but he hasn't played well. He's struggled at third base so far. He'll get the routine plays, but and then another one is Chris Taylor. He's striking out all the damn time. And it's like, if the Dodgers want to do anything this year and go far, those are the two guys that have to perform. Chris Taylor and Max Muncy. Now, like I just said, Muncy has picked it up in the last week. Again, he's the owner of the San Francisco Giants. The guy just loves playing there, even though he said he hates it.
Yeah,
But
what's
he
up with
seems,
that?
I don't know.
That quote was so funny.
It was. And as a Dodger fan, I loved it because I think a lot of guys are not going to be honest like that. But he was openly like, yeah, I don't like playing here. It's cold, it's raining, it sucks. But for some reason, this guy hits a home run. He turns into Barry Bonds when he goes out there. And
Yeah.
going to the top of the snake, Dave Roberts is getting exposed as a manager. He's getting outmanaged by teams in his own division.
And I mean, Dave Roberts has always been, I guess, he's always gotten
Overrated.
shit. He's always gotten shit from fans, but I feel like you hear it now more than ever. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
might be an overreaction for the first 16 games, but it seems like, I guess we always say whenever a team's doing badly, it's easiest to blame the manager. So I
Right.
guess it might be right now that he's getting the heat of it just because of the Dodger struggles.
Right. And listen, I understand it's still early. And just to continue with, everybody else in our division, the National League West is kind of shit this year. The Rockies and Giants are not good. I think everybody in baseball thought the Padres were going to get off to this hot, historic start. I think we have the same record with them. If not, they're like a game better than us.
They're actually
they-
8-9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only team with an above 500 record is the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? Now they're a fun young team. Like I enjoy watching the Diamondbacks play. They're going to be a good team. I didn't like that they took 3 out of 4 from us a couple weeks ago, but that's the only thing you can hang your hat on is that the division hasn't been crazy. Like everybody's still kind of in the pack with each other. So far this season, the Dodgers take 1 step forward and then they take 2 steps back.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for talking about your Dodgers, even though it killed you too. I'm sure it's not fun right now, but they'll turn it around.
I really hope so, because if not, this fan base is going to get upset very quickly.
Yep.
Which kind of shows you how spoiled we are. Like you just said from the beginning.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Melo. See ya.
Thank you. Go Lakers, go Kings.
Melo got to talk about his Dodgers, so let's talk about our Yankees.
Yeah, that's only fair. I think we
know.
should.
It has
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah. So, what was that? Sunday? Yeah, yesterday or
Yesterday.
on Sunday, Garrett Cole. He's so good. I can't believe you said he wasn't going to be our ace this year.
Hey, now, I didn't say he wasn't going to be our ace. I said that I could very well see him if he. Okay, I don't know how to word.
Now
this
you're
because
backtracking.
because of how damn good he has looked this year. It's hard for me to go back on what I was saying, but I will because I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna keep with it. I believe my wording was somewhat around Carlos Rodon taking over the ace role come later in the year.
Okay.
Obviously that has not been not been the case whatsoever because Rodon started on the IL and Cole is now pitching to what is it, a 0.75 ERA, something like that, 0.70. It's ridiculous. Now don't get me wrong. I'm loving that Cole is proving me wrong. I truly am. And I hope he keeps this up. I mean, he's moving up on the all-time strikeout leader list. He passed. I know Whitey Ford was one of them, and he passed somebody else as well. It's nice to see. He absolutely shoved. I really don't know what more there is to say. I mean, he's picked us up on this pitching staff where he has needed to. Until Rodon comes back and this rotation gets fully healthy, Cole needs to keep this up. And I have no doubt in my mind that he could very well do that.
Yeah. 4-0, 0.95 ERA. So I guess he doesn't have a 0.7. Kind of sucks. But
well, he's our fifth starter now.
32 strikeouts and 4 starts so far. I mean, he's dealing If you guys remember, and I'm gonna be annoying about this all year now as he continues to deal, but remember when MLB Network put out their top 10 starting pitchers and Garrett Cole was not included in that?
Now that I
Um,
didn't agree with. That
right.
I didn't agree with. But
So that's just awesome that Garrett Cole's kind of shoving that in their face. Um, yeah, he's been dealing. He also devours bananas like no other.
that's ridiculous. I mean, I was watching that live on yesterday, and I mean, it's what you expect. I mean, he's such a weird dude, man.
He
I mean,
is.
and honestly, none of this stuff came out when he was with the Houston Astros.
Mm.
None of it. I mean,
Isn't that weird though? It's usually the
dude,
opposite with the Yankees.
always. And the thing when he was with Houston, he just looked like such a serious dude. He went out on the mound constantly, shoved each and every single game, and then he came back, and then you just didn't hear from him. And then he
Mhm.
would come back out for his next start and do the same damn thing.
Mhm.
Now that he's with the Yankees, we're starting to learn about the real Garrett Cole. Baby faced, no more beard, no more serious Cole. Now he's devouring bananas, and I'm sorry, but his voice still does not add up to his persona. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And
No.
and every time I hear like a post game interview, he's just having fun, man. And
Yeah.
that's what I love. I love it. Even after a bad start, I mean, he's gonna hold himself accountable, but he's still out there having fun. And that's the Garrett Cole that has made me love him. I hated him in Houston,
Oh
obviously,
yeah,
but
he was such
um,
yeah.
yeah, when he came to New York, dude, I was skeptical, whatever, but I love Garrett Cole now, man. I really
Yeah.
do. He's groomed into New York so much. He's fun. He's funny. Just everything surrounding Garrett Cole is hilarious. And
Yeah,
yes, he
it's
devours fruit for fun, which is great.
he'll pitch a complete game shutout and then devour fruit on the side. That's what he does. All right. Any final thoughts?
I don't think so. Go A's. I hope all you guys pack that stadium. I truly do. But
Yeah. Well,
other than
we
that,
still
I
have
don't think
another
so.
month or two for that, I think. Yeah,
That's true.
it's in it's in June. I guess they gave people a heads up just to make sure that everyone could make it.
It's a pretty good heads up.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there in Oakland in June. But until then, we'll be back another episode 2 on Friday. Episode 1 in the books. Great job. Let's go.
Amazing.
One down, many more to go. All right. See you
Let's
guys
do
on
it.
Friday. Peace.
See ya.